Okay, so I had to cover this because this is a hot topic right now on Twitter. People are questioning India's ethnicity after she revealed to Deji in Casa Amor that she's actually Jamaican. Now, he said to her, have you got rid of any temptation within your body, in a Niger accent? And he said, I come live and direct and I'm not here for the rubbish. And when Indiyah didn't really respond back in a Nigerian accent, he asked her, what's your ethnicity? And she said, I'm Jamaican. And he leaned forward in shock with his mouth wide open and said, really? You could literally see his shock. It was so palpable. It was comical. He was so shocked that she wasn't Nigerian. And apparently he's not alone, because a lot of people on Twitter are, questioning how she's Jamaican, or just kind of revealing their shock at how she's Jamaican. Personally, I don't understand, one, the big deal about it, but two, I think sometimes, guys, I think sometimes it's really, you need context clues. You need to maybe, start to understand subtle differences between ethnicities within the Black community. So, for example, India's first name, I don't think there aren't many African parents out there calling their children names like India and China and Asia and Malaysia, etc. Whereas in kind of West Indian and Caribbean, cultures, it's a bit more common. The spelling of her name as well would possibly hint at her being Jamaican or of a Caribbean island, especially Jamaica, I think, with India. Um, but also her surname is Pollock. How many Nigerian people do you know with the surname Pollock? Now, I don't expect people to be, diving deep into her background or anything like that. But, there were a few clues there. But what's really getting me is, people's reasoning behind, how she's Jamaican and not Nigerian somehow, or not at least African. So let's get into some of these tweets. Young Gambino said, India is Jamaican. I thought she was Nigerian. Kind of laughing, crying, laughing emoji. Sade said, India is Jamaican, huh? I thought she was African this whole time. Someone else said, India is Jamaican. Caribbean Girls has the best sauce. Um, Someone else said, nah, I thought India was African. I didn't know she was Jamaican. Someone said, for some reason, I didn't think India was Jamaican at all. Island girl, yes, but not Jamaican. Laugh out loud. And someone said her name is Indiyah and you're surprised she's Jamaican. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying. There are context clues. We shouldn't assume, but sometimes you can look at small things. Our names sometimes are, have cultural connotations. Linked to them, and those are ways that we can identify certain people. Someone said India is a Jamaican queen. No wonder Nagyal can see her. Okay, no wonder Nagyal can see her and start problem. Someone else said India's Jamaican. Rah, thought she was Ghanaian. So, guys, I mean, this is all fun, and it's all laughs, but at the same time, I can't help but think there's a little bit of um, the reasonings behind this aren't necessarily funny. I feel that because Indiyah is perhaps darker skinned and has certain features, perhaps her, I don't know if it's the gap in her teeth, or there's certain little features that made people think that she was African. People need to understand that Caribbean people, Black Caribbean people are descendants of Africans, but not everyone is going to be brown skinned or lighter skinned, or looking slightly with slightly lighter skinned features, etc. Black people are, I shouldn't, I think we know this, but Black people have such a wide range of different features, and there's no one way to look Jamaican. As we know, if we think about all of the kind of global Jamaican stars that we've had, from Bob Marley to Sean Paul, then to say someone like Shabba Ranks and Beanie Man, Mavado, um, they're all different looking. There's not a way to really to particularly look Jamaican. Sometimes there are little looks. Um, but I don't understand the shock that people are expressing that Indiyah is Jamaican. I think especially with her first name and the way it's spelled, but also the surname. It's not. unbelievable. And so while it's all fun and games, sometimes people need to just kind of do their research before presuming that someone is something else. um but yeah, I think also her attitude. I think India, Caribbean people, and I think especially British Caribbean people, British born Caribbean people, have a way about them sometimes where they will feel out people, and they'll be very quiet and observant. And I feel like people have stereotypes Jamaicans, to be quite loud and brash, and that's not always the case, especially for someone like India, who's clearly British born as well. So there's a lot of I think the misconceptions. I love the people that are spot on, who spotted it and were like, no, with a name like India, what, you couldn't tell. And I think so as well. I'm not going to say I knew that she was Jamaican, but I definitely knew she was Caribbean and not African. Just those little subtle clues there with her name, her surname says it loud. Um, and yeah, just that kind of quiet, contemplative, laid back, you're just drinking in everyone. There's that as well. It doesn't always have to be loud and brash. But yeah, it's in good fun. I think it was really amusing to see people's kind of shocked reactions, but it was actually a bit of comic relief actually to see Deji, trying to do up trying to do up Niger brother and sister with her, with the accent, and when she didn't actually do anything back in a Nigerian accent, and then he had to ask her, "What's your ethnicity?" The shock, his mouth was agape. It was very comical, very funny indeed. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Let me know in the comments below. Did you know that that India was Jamaican, or that she was Caribbean, or did you also think that she was African, perhaps Ghanaian or Nigerian, like people were saying in the comments on Twitter? Let me know in the comments below.